Hi. We are live. Okay, what is up, guys? Alrighty, so told y'all earlier we're doing another live, so we're doing another live. No, I'm just sweet. That's my older video from earlier. So refresh YouTube. Refresh. Let's see what we got here. Okay, it's gonna be on my other one earlier. Here to stay is the new bird. Perfect, we're all good. We're all set up. But alrighty, guys. No, just gonna do pretty much what I did earlier. Just come on here and talk about archery again. Surprise, Gun and Bow Productions. Who'd have thought I'd talk about archery, right? But some of them might come on here. Some of them might watch this live. I don't know who will, but I'm gonna give a shout out. I want to thank you. I want to thank the people that watched my live earlier today. I also want to thank the people that watched the live as a video. I want to thank you guys for that. Try to get as many long form videos out as I can. That way I can get long form hours and short form hours. But so, like I was talking earlier, bow hunting is expensive. And there is, like, any of my videos, the thing you are always going to hear me say is, if you get an archery, make sure you have, I'd say for beginning, at least $500 or $600 you can drop, then on the spot. Because my bow brand new was $500 or $499. It was like $499.99. Oh no, it was us. It was $399.99. I think. Let me see here. Yeah, $399.99. So that is, you know, hunting in general. So I will say, so I've never shot an animal. Besides, I have shot pigs and raccoons and squirrels. So I've never shot a deer with a bow. But this year, oh god, it's already the 15th. Oh, that aches me. I just got my license and I have it till I'm 17 though. So I have that running towards me. Seriously, if y'all live in the state of Florida and you're a teenager under the age of 17, I would definitely recommend you getting the youth license. That's a steal. I paid $17.50 for it, and I don't have to buy the license ever again. I have that license. It's valid until 2028 when I turn 17. So, I scored. Like, I was very lucky to get that license. But, yeah, it aches me because I only have a month left for hunting season, so kind of need to get out there. But if there's one thing I will say to you guys, unless you have just like $600 or so sitting around to be able to get used, I would not recommend getting an archery. I'd recommend you start gun hunting. I gun hunt pig a lot with a 300 blackout. I don't have a normal casing. That's a 300 blackout casing. It's 52 grains. I use it for pigs. But I would definitely recommend, if you don't have a lot of money, or you, let's say maybe you want to shoot a lot, but maybe you don't, let's say you want to start bow hunting, but you don't have a lot of money sitting around right now. I would not recommend you go and start hunting bow. Because of this. My arrows are $64.99 for 12. Okay? $64.99 divided by 12. Sorry, calculator's going to come and help here. I'm that lazy. I am that lazy. So, 64 divided by 12, $5.42 an arrow. That's per arrow. Get ready. Think about this here. My broadheads I'm looking at on Amazon are brain fart. Arm cramp. Ow. My broadheads are 1976 for 4 of them. So that's 1036 an arrow. Get ready. That's not including this. I have lighted nocks on my arrows. That's optional. But for me, I have lighted nocks, so get ready. 6 of them, 1388. $12.67 for an arrow. So that is every arrow you miss, you are losing $13. So I would not recommend you get into archery if you don't have money. Okay. I always recommend people to get in archery because to me personally, shooting a buck with a gun, to me, okay, great, that's awesome. Like, great job, you got a good buck. This is me personally. I feel like if I went out and shot a decent buck with a gun, I wouldn't be as proud of myself. Because bow is different. Different world. Different. It's harder. It's more I'm not going to say it takes more talent, but I'm going to say it takes more talent. It takes a lot of work. Because you have to, you have to be lucky enough to have that animal come close enough to you. And if you're out of my state, which I'm in Florida, if you're out of Florida, you have to follow the lovely laws of you're not really allowed to bait. Yeah, that's nice, right? I love Florida because I can bait on public land or private land. Public land, you cannot. But I can put salt blocks out there. I can do whatever I want on private land. I just got to have landowner permission. So, love you, Florida. But, I seriously, in my opinion, I feel like if you want to get into archery, you got to have at least $600 or so to set aside. But gun hunting, seriously, if you want to start if you're going to put your foot in the door or hunting, gun. I'll just tell you right now, pull the trigger, pun intended, get a gun. Get a gun. It's going to be expensive up front. So it's going to be more expensive up front than a bow, but it's going to be cheaper in the long term. Because think about it this way, bows, you have to get them serviced very often. And unless you go and buy the tools to string a compound bow and to do all your own work, which I actually wanted to get, I want to get my own bow press. I want to get my own arrow make. I want to make my own stuff. Because it's getting annoying. Like, I want to become my own bow tech. Because once my buddy who works at Bass Pro stops working at Bass Pro, I don't know where he's going to go work. And I don't want to make him drive all the way. And I will definitely pay him. But I don't want to make him drive all the way up to Ormond to, he lives all the way down like 45 minutes from where I live to literally chew my bow. Like, I don't want to make him do that. I'm actually going to go see Hayden tomorrow. I need to text him about that too. I need to ask him if he's there. I need to text him if he's there because I don't know if he is. Squirrel. Sorry. Y'all saw my live earlier. I freaking squirrel, but I gotta text my bow tech and see if he's there. Hey. Hey, comma. You're working tomorrow. Correct? Sorry. I had to check. I'm going down there to see my bow tech tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. Knock on wood. I don't have a string for that yet, actually. I need to get that string for it, though. Cramp. Cramp. I need to get that string for my crossbow. I kind of snapped the string on my crossbow. I may or may not have strapped the string on my crossbow. That's actually a better way of doing stuff too. If you want to step your foot into archery, but you also want to do gun, I will 100% recommend you a crossbow. If you're like, oh, I don't have a lot of time to shoot. If you're personally like, oh, I don't have enough time, I can't get the deer in close enough. See how far those deer are walking. Like my crossbow is sighted the main pin, the main circle. It's not a crosshair, and I don't like that. I'm gonna buy a new scope for it, but it's a circle, and it came with the guns, with the crossbow, so I can't really complain. But crossbows are great for longer range shots, just because one, heavier bolts, they have a lot more punch, and you have a lot heavier of a draw weight on it. So my draw weight on that crossbow is 200 pounds. But I'm only pulling back like 75 when I'm pulling it like this with the cocker. Or if I do the hand crank, I'm pulling nothing. It actually is easy to do that little hand crank. It just takes forever. So, never really liked the hand crank. It just takes so long to get going. You're just sitting there doing this, and there's a pig on your spot, and you're like, oh, crank, 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 crank. And then by the time you get there, the pig's here, and you crank the crossbow up, and they all run. But it's all part of the sport, right? Right. But no, I seriously, my crossbow is sighted into 30, and I can shoot all the way out to 50 accurately. Like my bolt will just shoot out to 50 yards and drill a T. Like I could hit a dime, a quarter. I could hit that at. Well, I can hit this at 30 yards. If I just go and I slowly squeeze. Now, if I do this, I can hit this if I squeeze. If I pop shot it, like I do a target panic. Like my bow, I can drill about that at 30 yards with my bow. But that's without target panic. That's with squeezing and popping like that. Well, actually, no, I forgot. That's how most people are. I'm not like that. So a lot of the people, when you're watching them shoot, a lot of those competitive archery, like Jesse Broadwater, you get to watch a lot of them. You see them shoot, you're watching them shoot, and as you watch, if you watch their thumb slowly presses. It slowly moves. So they're doing a surprise.
Hey, you!
Hey, do it alive.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Hayden's going to be working from 11 to 7 tomorrow.
Okay, I'm sure everyone needs to know that.
Well, I'm telling, no, there's only one working on the live. I was letting you know he's just working from 11 to 7.
Okay, then I'll be ready in about half an hour.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be out here probably another half hour, so. Okay, we're good. Sorry, I might want to walk out. So, back to the, okay, had to think about what I was talking about. So, Jesse Broadwater and all them, you're watching them shoot, whatever, you're watching them shoot. Like I said, you're watching their finger slowly pop, and then you watch their do this. That's a surprise. It's a surprise shot, or a surprise release. Or some of them have hinge releases where you twist your wrist like this. I'm never going to use a hinge release. I have shot a hinge release. They shoot really weird. They are really weird feeling, and it actually really hurts my wrist. Even with a wrist support on, it really hurts my wrist. I just have a generic blackout thumb release, which a lot of competitive archerists have the thumb release, but a lot of your hunters use index release. So they shoot this and not thumb. I can do both out of my bow. It's just it's gonna be sighted in for one. My draw length's made for thumb release, not a index. Because if I had an index release, my finger would be like that. Like my hand would be back here, which is not great. With my thumb releases right here. But me, I can do this. I can pop shot it. I can actually force my shot, and I can still hit a grouping like that at like 30 yards, which is okay. Like, it's great. for killing. I mean, when you have the kill zones are like this on deer, giant 6x6 box. They're giant. You can because they're pigs. The pigs in Florida or anywhere, you have to be drilling a T. Unless you have a very, very heavy poundage bow and a very, very fast traveling arrow or an arrow with a lot of punch or a cut-on contact broadhead, you're not going to cut to that thing's fast shield. My crossbow is 200-pound pullback, so my arrow is flying 430 feet per second. Nothing is stopping that. Nothing. I literally mean nothing. I have shot through a 200-plus pound pig, and it still had enough power to stick that far into a palm tree. I could have just been where I hit it. I hit it right behind the shoulder blade, which is where you want to aim for a pig. So I can't really say if that was pure luck or if it was just an actual how the crossbow would normally act. But again, you can watch all those guys on Jesse Broadwater is a great example. I love Jesse Broadwater. I love watching him shoot. I actually have my buddy Hayden, who's my bow tech. He actually shot international tournaments, and I think he said he lost by one arrow. That's impressive. Losing internationals, or not losing nationals by one arrow. One. He's a good shooter. I'll put it this way: 45 yards there at a tournament we went to. I did a 3D shoot with him. Little fun shoot, and not gonna win anything. Just hey, go have fun, shoot. There was a raccoon on a tree. There was a raccoon target. They had a half one that was strapped to a tree with game camera straps, and it was so funny because he's like, "Where do you want me to shoot it?" I'm like, what? He's like, "Where do you want me to shoot it?" 45 yards, mind you. He guessed all by his memory too. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna assume that's 43.5," and with his rangefinder, I'd go. And it would read 45.6. He's a very good archerist, and I love shooting with him, and I love him. Personally, I'm only going to let him ever touch my bow, unless I find another good bow tech. But right now, he is the only other person that can touch my bow with the sense of they can fix it. Actually, I can't even fix it, because I don't have the right equipment. I don't have a bow press, and I don't have that stuff, which I want to get one. They're expensive, they're $300, so... I don't have that sitting around right now to just pull out my butt and buy one. Sadly. But you can watch Jesse Broadwater and stuff like that, and you'll see them shoot, you'll watch them shoot, and like I said, you can see their surprise shot. You'll see their bow arm will flex like that, their back arm will pop like that, their chest will puff out, and that's a surprise shot. Me, I can draw my bow back like this, punch it, and still have minimal movement. So, a lot of those professional archerists, everybody shoots different. Everybody's going to be, there are some people that are going to shoot a lot more accurate than others. Obviously, it's what tournaments are a thing. Otherwise, there'd be no such thing as tournaments. And there's some people who just can't shoot at all. So, whatever. But, some people shoot with different releases, too. Different releases will cause you different... they'll cause you accurate... They can cause you to have more accuracy. They can cause you to have... There's a whole bunch of stuff that play in the role. That go into the... Or play into your accuracy. Your arrows, your field tips, your bow, your trigger, your string, your sight, are you pulling back to the same spot every single time? Are you whatever? There are many things that you can do right. There are many things you can do wrong with hunting with bows. One of the things that I'm noticing a lot, when I watch a bunch of people shoot, I don't want to say newbies or new people because I'm relatively new into the sport. I just got my 3rd degree black belt, and I'm going to stop Taekwondo to pick up 4-H archery, competition archery, full time. That's my sport. But I've only been doing archery for a year and a half now. But I've been hunting for almost 2. But I think what I'm gonna do. You can watch some of the newer people shoot. Sorry, I completely lost it and then I got it back. You can watch some of the newer people do the sport shoot, and you can watch them. Sometimes they'll knock here. Sometimes they'll pull back to here. Sometimes their nose will be on the string, and they'll be looking like this, out of this eye instead of this eye. Or maybe they're drawing back with this hand, with a right hand bow. Which if they had their bow what I recommend, if you ever buy a bow, before you buy a bow, go on Facebook or Instagram. Go on I know you're going to call me, I get called a boomer all the time. But I have Facebook, and I scroll Facebook. Yes, call me crazy. But that's how I learned about all the bow techs that I know in my area. That's how I know all the bow techs in my area. Like, I have a backup bow tech, but my main bow tech will never be replaced. Unless he's like, hey, I'm moving to, like, Georgia. Like, if he's moving out of state or moving more than 6 hours away, unless he's going to do that, I'm not replacing him. Like, he is my bow tech, and he will be my bow tech for forever. Or until he can teach me how to do my own bow working. And I really love him. He's a great bow tech, as you can tell. I know, call me crazy. I really love the guy. He does a great job on my bow. I've never had any issues with him. But I really, really, really love just him. But seriously, do research before you get a bow. Research that bow. Research everything but bow tech. Go on Facebook. Go and try to find your local traditional archery site, which traditional would be something more along the lines of, like, recurve bows. So I got that one for free, actually. I shipped it to me from Colorado. But, you go on traditional archery group, because traditional archery, there are very few bow techs for traditional archery. And most people who know how to do traditional archery work on bows know how to do compound archery, can fix compounds. But I will definitely say this. Go on Facebook and go on any single bow or hunting group that you can join almost immediately. Like, try to get it, like, quick. Like, try to get in those groups. Because if you do, then you can go post, hey, I live in this county, in this state, does anybody around, roughly that area know anybody who's a good bow tech? And if so, if not, tell me who to go to, who to not go to. Hey, does anybody in my area? Pretty much, hey, does anyone in my area have any recommendations for a bow tech to and to not go to? Because, other archerists should not be biased. Now, I am very biased for my bow tech. I will always recommend to someone in my bow tech. I got my buddy who used to do archery, and then he broke his back, had a spinal fuse, and then it's hard for him to pull back anything over like 40 pounds. But I had him go see my bow tech, and my bow tech was like, yeah, we can set you up a bow. Sure enough, he's got a bow. So, he's shooting bow again 30 years later. But, like, find a good bow tech. Because mine actually works at Bass Pro. My bow tech works at Bass Pro. And I actually came across him by complete coincidence. Like, I didn't do my research on a bow. See, I'm saying that because now that I've gotten my foot, and there are very good bow techs, and there are people where you can tell they just don't want to be a bow tech. But they want to do a job where they really don't have to work too much, and they can get good money. Because trust me, bow techs get a good amount of money if they work for themselves. Bass Pro bow techs don't make much. There's only 2 at the Bass Pro near me. And one of them I've had horrible interactions with. And then my bow tech, I actually bumped into him. I was buying my bow, and as I was looking at my current compound on the shelf, I saw him walking past, and it said on his worker tag, bow department or bow tech. It said bow tech, bow department. And I kind of walked up to him. He was in the middle of a conversation. I kind of sat there for a minute. He was like, "Hey, what's up?" And this is the first time I ever went to buy a compound bow. So I looked at him and I said, "Hey, would I, by chance, be able just to go shoot this bow in the back and feel how it shoots?" He's like, "No." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I had to tune it to you to be able to shoot it." I'm like, oh, crud. So I had to go and, get it tuned up, and at that point, I was kind of like, if it's going to tune it up for me, I already done a whole bunch of research into that bow anyway, so, and it's the bow I settled on, so I was kind of like, I don't care, I'm like, you can tune it to me, so, but if you tune it to me, I'm going to buy it, because I'm not going to so a guy did this while I was there, he did to my bow tech, sitting there waiting for my bow to get tuned up and looked at. I get my bow looked up and checked at about every month or so, or anytime I have some sort of an issue come up. I try to get it done every month. My parents don't like driving me down there. I mean, I can't blame them. I'm the only one that hunts in my family, and I'm the only one that'll sit at Bass Pro for hours getting my bow tuned. Fun. But they don't really like bring me down there. But the people that were getting their bow tuned to them to buy, I think they were getting an old Matthews Outback. So our Bass Pro has an area in the back where we can shoot our bows at a range. They have like a little range back there. It's a 1-lane range that goes to like 20 yards. It's not really the hottest range ever, but it's great for just tuning a bow to someone. It's great for that. But the whole, I'll say this, the whole, it was annoying because the poor guy, my bow tech, had someone come in, they bought a Matthews Outback, and it was back there on the range. Mind you, if you don't know, Matthews Outbacks are like 20-year-old bows. So they're decently hard to come across in the condition that this one was in. But they don't run for much because they're 20 years old. So they had in the back, have a little use section back there. What are those?
Pierogies.
Oh, pierogies.
Delicious is what they are.
Yeah. Anything is delicious.
Oh shit, I keep forgetting that. Milkshake in there.
Hey, you got a milkshake in there.
Do you know I have a milkshake in there?
Yeah, did you know you had one in there?
I have a milkshake in there.
You know?
Picking us up.
Did you know you had a milkshake in there? No, but so tuning a bow, it is time consuming. I will say that. Like when we got my bow first tuned up to me, we walked in there only thinking it was going to be like an hour. Dumbest mistakes of our life. We got in there after church at like 2:30. We left at 6. It's great. But I really got to know my bow tech. And I got his number. And ever since then, I've always had my same bow tech. But that person took almost 3 hours to tune their bow. Same, you know. And it killed me because they had the bow tuned to them. And then almost immediately looked at my bow tech and said, "Sorry, I don't like this bow." And I was behind them, waiting. And I got there right at the tail end of them getting their bow tuned. And I looked right at them. I was like, "I'm sorry. You said you don't like the bow that he just spent 3 hours tuning? And you knew you didn't like that bow? Or did you not do your research before coming to buy the bow? Which one?" Both circumstances, dumb decision on your end. And he was like, "I just didn't do research." I'm like, So you came here not knowing what bow you were getting, not knowing if it was a good bow, getting it tuned to you, and then looking at your bow tech, and saying, "I don't like it." Your bow tech just wasted 3 hours of time that he could have been spending on someone else who would have came and actually bought a bow and used it and kept it. I wanted to just want to be like, you know how you love to be breathing right now? Yeah, that's not a necessity. But I was like, chill out, be cool. But it annoyed me. But he was like, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. I'm like, that doesn't make it any better. It makes it worse. Ooh, spicy. But no, gone on for 30 minutes. I'm trying to keep all my lives to about 30 minutes. That way people watch my videos. But, I am going to head out now. But, just again, know your bow tech. Get to know your bow tech. Yeah, just get to know your bow tech. Get a bow tech before you buy a bow. Do your research on your bow. Make sure the bow is what you want. And then expect to take a decent amount of time to get your bow tuned. Just like don't go there being like me, thinking, oh, it's only going to take an hour. Yeah, no, it took more than an hour. It took almost 3 times that. But I'm going to wrap the live up, but I'll see y'all later.